It was finally time for girls' night. That's right, everyone was here. Mina, Sue, Ochako, Jiro, Toru, Momo, Eri, Kei, Kiba, Omai Sansan, Kyoku, Shiruku, Yonda, Nara, and even Fuku, over video call. Because while Fuku had gotten better at being around more people, being around this many people was still a nope for her. They all gathered in one of the formerly empty rooms in the house that Izuku had modified specifically for girls' night and future girls' nights. The room had been painted red and pink and given a very comfortable carpet. There was a closet filled with sleeping bags, a huge TV, and a bunch of other things for nightly activities. So is it time to talk about boys? Shiruka started off eagerly. What boys? Most of us never go outside to meet boys that aren't our brothers. Yonda pointed out. Ochako, Jiro, and Amai are in denial and aren't getting out of it anytime soon. Sue couldn't care less. Momo's so pure and sheltered I doubt she's even had a crush before. Mina and Toru are so in love with other people's love lives that Mina hasn't even noticed the guy who has a serious crush on her. Wait, what? Mina's eyes went wide. Someone's crushing on me. Who? I'm not telling you. Yonda deadpanned. But hopefully, that'll get the ball rolling. That poor boy's going to need all the support he can get for the Herculean task he's taken on. You kids have crazy advanced vocabulary. Toru pointed out. Of course, we do. It makes us sound smarter. Yonda said, looking annoyed. Now can we please not talk about romance? Geez girl, why do you sound so bitter? Toru asked. Because when you listen to people's thoughts, you hear things that no person should ever hear. And when I hit puberty my life is going to suck, so much. And I'd really rather not think about future relationships. Yonda answered, shivering in fear as she imagined her teen years. Fair enough, let's talk about something else, Ochako said swiftly. Because she too didn't want to talk about romance. She knew where that conversation would go. Oh come on, we can't just not talk about romance at least a little bit, Toru whined. Maybe instead of talking about boys we're into, we can talk about what kind of people we'd be interested in. And we can skip Yonda since she doesn't want to talk about it. That's still just talking about romance. Ochako groaned, desperately hoping for a change of topic. Well, the only fair way to decide this is with democracy, Mina decided. All in favor of talking about this raise your hand. Mina, Toru, Shiruku, and surprisingly Kyoku raised their hands. All against? Mina asked, a little disappointed by the lack of hands raised. Ochako, Yonda, and Jiro raised their hands. Alright, 4 beats 3. Mina cheered. Ugh. All 3 girls were against this internally groaned. I feel that at the very least, we shouldn't make Jiro or Ochako talk about this if they really are that against this, Momo told her. Oh fine. Mina pouted for a second before giving Momo a mischievous grin. Well, then you go first Momo. Huh. Momo was a bit taken aback by the suddenness in which Mina thrust this on her. What would I look for in a romantic partner? Well, as Yonda assumed, I have never had a serious romantic interest in anyone before. And I haven't given such things any serious thought. But off the top of my head, I suppose I would like it if my romantic partner were, how do I put this, more independent. I would prefer a relationship where myself and this partner wouldn't have issues maintaining a healthy relationship while also being apart from each other and doing things independent of each for long periods. Of course, we would still frequently contact each other and support each other, but we wouldn't feel the need to constantly be in each other's presence. Opposite. I want hugs, Sansan said, as she then wrapped herself around Ochako. Ochako laughed a little as she felt Sansan embrace her. I guess Sansan would want a relationship that's a lot more intimate. She'd probably be the kind of girl to glomp her partner whenever possible. Sansan nodded, giving her a bright grin. Hey, Sansan, I was wondering. Since you're made of, are you into boys or girls? Shiruka asked, surprising everyone by how suddenly and nonchalantly she asked it. Sansan thought about that for a minute, making a cartoon finger and bringing it to her mouth, before making a question mark appear over her head and shrugging. I dunno. Wait, what is Sansan made of? Amai asked, looking extremely confused. I don't think your parents would appreciate us telling you, Sue answered bluntly. Also it makes sense that you haven't really had time to figure that out, Sansan. After all, you haven't had much exposure to other people. Maybe we should go outside more, Nara said absent-mindedly. No thanks. Fuku, Kyoku, and Kiba said sharply. I have no need to look for a partner. Kiba continued, shaking her head as she folded her arms. Either it'll happen or it won't. I don't really care. As long as I have my family, I don't need much else. Oh no, I'm having a cute attack. Toru shouted as she clutched her chest and dramatically fell to the floor. Just too precious. Mina choked, doing the same thing. Anyway, guess I'll go next. Azui volunteered. I'm not really in a rush to be in a relationship. But if I was to find someone, I would like them to be dependable. Someone I can work with really easily, and have at my side without having to worry about them. I'd also like them to be good with kids. Oh? Sue's gonna be a family woman, huh? Mina said teasingly. Always have been really. My parents have always been pretty busy, so most of the time, I've been the one who's had to take care of my younger siblings. Sue explained. So I've been basically acting like a mom for most of my life. So in the future when I have kids, I'd like my spouse to be pulling their weight. Sue ain't gonna take no slackers. Toru joked. Darn right, Sue said bluntly, going along with the joke. Hey Shiroku, what's your ideal partner? Kei asked the spider girl curiously. Me? Well, I don't really want much out of a partner. I'd prefer someone creative. If they could draw, that would be wonderful. Specifically, I'd like them to have an eye for detail, and a decently high standard. Not a perfectionist necessarily, but not a perfectionist. But I don't want them to be annoying about it, or just unwilling to compromise. I'd also like them to be very affectionate, always willing to give out hugs, but respectful of when I want to be alone. I don't want them to be too loud. I wouldn't mind if they were mute actually. They don't need to be, but I would personally see that as a plus. I'd like them to be calm, and reasonable. And of course, they'd need to have an iron stomach to handle my cannibalism issue. Honestly speaking, I wouldn't mind if they didn't do much, so long as I enjoy working with them, and we make great art together. I thought you said you didn't want much? Kei asked, looking confused. Is that a lot to ask? Shiroku responded, looking equally confused. Girl knows what she wants. Can't blame her for that. Toru said, giving Shiroku an invisible high five. I wish I was like that. I have no idea what I'd want out of a partner. Fuku shyly admitted. Not that anyone would want to date Fuku. Oh dear sister, I'm sure there are many people who would love to be in a romantic relationship with you, Kiba told her kindly. You can write, draw, paint, cook, and even sew. You have so many good traits, and if anyone says otherwise, I will bludgeon them to death. Please don't. Achiko, Sue, Momo, and Fuku all said simultaneously. I mean, I guess those are good. But I don't think those are good enough traits to look over my quirk. Fuku said, with a saddened expression. Wait, what's her quirk? Amai asked. She releases a gas that makes you experience your worst nightmare while you're awake, Kiba explained casually like it was no big deal. Oh. Amai seemed shocked for a moment, before laughing a little. You know, you guys are all so friendly, I forget you could subject me to a fate worse than death. Yeah, you get over that surprisingly quickly. Toru agreed. But that is gonna make it a little hard to find someone, Amai admitted. But don't worry. One day I'm sure you'll find someone who can look past how scary your quirk is. They may even find the scary part of you attractive. Speaking from experience? Shiroku asked her cheekily, causing Amai to turn red. What about you, Toru? Sue said, taking the attention off poor Amai. What do you want in a partner? Oh, Toru thought about the question, trying to find the answer she had surely thought of by now. And never did. I told you. She's too in love with other people's love lives. Yonda restated. I mean, she's not wrong, Toru admitted. I'm not really the most noticeable person around, so I don't really think about it too much. I mean, it's hard to be attractive when you are literally invisible. Believe me, people can still find invisible people attractive. Yonda told her, grimacing a bit as she recalled some of the thoughts she'd heard about Toru. Wait, really? Toru asked, no doubt wearing a shocked expression that no one could see, leaning towards Yonda. Oh yeah, big time. Let's just say, sometimes not knowing what people look like makes them more attractive. Yonda explained. People have very active imaginations. Oh, I see, because they don't know what she looks like, they can imagine anything they want and lay those fantasies onto Toru, Momo explained. It's somewhat like Schrodinger's cat. Hear that, Toru, you're Schrodinger's wifu. Mina giggled, teasing Toru a bit. I am not sure how to feel about that, Toru answered honestly. It was a bit weird to think that people imagined what she could look like, and then got attracted to that, and imprinted that image of an imaginary girl onto her, then got attracted to her. I mean, at least people don't think I'm ugly? That's a plus? Definitely a plus, Nara told her, crossing her arm. Boys mostly care about looks, even if the girl's personality is crap. I remember one time Ken went out with this one girl, and she was just awful. She was controlling, manipulative, and she had this weird thing with dogs. She really only liked Ken in his Blitzwolfer form, and even when he was in his normal form, she treated him like a dog. And Ken just went along with it because she was cute. I only managed to convince him to break up with her when she started insisting he wear a collar. Wow, that girl knew what her kinks were, way too early. Mina thought. I'm guessing you're not into simps then? Kiba asked her, causing Mina and Toru to almost burst out laughing at hearing a little girl say simp. Not really, no. I don't really care about being in a relationship, I'd rather just focus on school and work. Nara explained broadly. Maybe one day when I've got everything in order, I'll get interested in relationships. I can definitely respect that. Jiro nodded. Also, are you guys bored of this yet? Because I am. But we still haven't heard from Eri, Kei, or Kyoku, Mina argued. I don't really want to be in a relationship. Kyoku said curtly. Me neither. Eri shook her head. I just want someone who likes my snakes, Kei explained simply. There they talked, can we just move on? Jiro asked, sounding very annoyed. Mina pouted. Fine. What are we gonna talk about? I have an idea. Amai said, before turning to Kiba. Lady Kiba, how did the 1A videos do? How did everyone respond? Kiba gave them all a wide, prideful smile, and held her head up high. Well, I am pleased to say that the videos have done extraordinarily well. People from all over the world are interested to see what the students from the world's best hero school are capable of, and that attention has not only served the videos, but they've also brought attention to myself. Thanks to you all, my minion count has increased rapidly. That's great. You already had like 2 million subscribers, how much is it now? Amai asked. 5 million and counting. Kiba proclaimed proudly. What? Shouted Mina, Toru, Amai, and Fuku in shock, although most of the other girls seemed pretty surprised as well. That's insane. Toru shouted. Yeah, that's 3 million more people. Kei said, taking a second to make sure her math was correct. All that just from us? Mina asked in surprise. I mean, I get that we're awesome, but geez. It's not too surprising if you think about it, Sue spoke up. Kiba's channel has a lot of appeals. She's an OPC which a lot of people are curious about now thanks to Midoriya. She's, and everyone that normally features on her channel are extremely powerful. She's the only channel that features UA students from the hero course, and she's also just really cute and fun to watch. I am not cute. I am fearsome and beautiful. Kiba huffed. Sorry, she's beautiful, and fun to watch. Sue corrected. I'd be surprised if she doesn't get to 20 million eventually. 20 million? Pfft. Everyone in the entire world will one day become my minion. Soon all will kneel before me. Ahahaha. Kiba laughed manically. Hail Lady Kiba. Amai, Mina, Toru, and Fuku cheered. Hail Lady Kiba. Ochako and Sue joined in, with big grins on their faces. Hail Lady Kiba. Kei joined in as well, just going along with it. Kiba's ego aside, what do people think about 1A? Shiroku asked. The whole reason we filmed those was to make people like 1A more so they'd buy the game. Well, I think it worked pretty well, Kiba explained. Opinions on Ojiro have increased greatly, and people can actually remember his name now. The same goes for Siro. People have been moderately impressed with Sato, Shoji, Jiro, and Aoyama. Although people have been a bit disappointed in Kaminari because of how limited his quirk is. They are quite fond of Mina, not just because of her quirk, of how she uses it in style. Hee hee. Nice, Mina said, patting herself on the back. They're also really impressed with you too, Sue, Kiba told the frog girl. People weren't expecting someone with a frog quirk to be so capable. Never underestimate a frog, Sue told them. They look cute, but they are deadly predators. Aha, lots of them look really cool and colorful. But they have super deadly poison. Kei said, excitedly jumping into the convection. I learned that in a book. Sue pet the snakes on her head, causing Kei to giggle as her snakes gave off a pleasing hiss. People are also rather fond of Ida. After the How Fast Can Ida Go video, Kiba continued. Which is good because that video was an absolute pain to get right. Many people also like Kirishima's attitude, more so than his quirk. Of course, Tokoyami and Todoroki are some of the more talked about members of your class. People are quite enamored with their power. But, when it comes to the most talk about member of your class, no one comes close to Ochako. Huh? Me? Ochako asked, soundingly slightly surprised. Am I really that much more popular? Well duh, Mina said. You're one of the 4 strongest people in class. And out of you, Bakugo, Todoroki, and Tokoyami, you're the most approachable. Yeah, not gonna lie, it's kind of hilarious how out of place you are with those 4. Jiro pointed out with a very amused smirk. Those 3 look like they're from an emo rock band, and then we have a cheery-looking marshmallow girl just vibing. Marshmallow girl? Ochako scoffed, looking slightly offended. What does that mean? I don't know, you just look soft. Jiro shrugged. Not like fat or anything, obviously you're ripped as heck. It's just when I look at you it feels like I'm looking at someone made of marshmallows and cotton candy. You just look soft. Like a pillow. Well, we gotta test that now. Mina stood up and looked down at Ochako with a mischievous gleam in her eyes, and her arms in front of her, aimed at Ochako. Everyone! Time for a group hug. Wait! Guys, not all at ack. Ochako didn't have time to get her words out, as Mina dived on top of her. Toru jumped in, and then Kei, and then Sansan, then Shiroku, then Kiba, and lastly Kyoku. Yep, can confirm. Nice and huggable. Mina giggled. Alright. That's enough, Ochako said, before activating One for All. Full cowling. 10%. Ochako then started to rise up, everyone else falling off her as their combined weight was nothing compared to her strength. See what we mean? Mina asked as she and everyone got off the ground after sliding off Ochako. You're a powerhouse. It really shouldn't be surprising that you're attracting this much attention, Sue told her bluntly. All that power and a friendly face. It kind of reminds me of All Might. Ochako went stiff for a minute, not expecting that sudden comparison that hit a bit too close to the truth for her liking. Hey, Kiba, I just noticed you didn't tell us what people thought of Toru. Yonda pointed out, quickly changing the topic for Ochiko's sake. Oh right, my apologies. Kiba said to Toru. Although, unfortunately, I can't say people are talking about you that much. I'm kinda used to that. Don't worry about it Lady K, Toru told her. Hey, are we gonna watch some movies or what? Jiro asked. Yeah, let's do that. Ochako said, quickly grabbing the remote, and quickly turning it on, trying to keep everyone from continuing to speak on this topic. Fortunately, it worked, and the rest of the night was spent watching movies and eating snacks. And most importantly, enjoying each other's company.